Yeah.
Hi guys, sorry for the windiness here. I want to talk about the plastic situation. There's a lot of plastic in the most harbors everywhere in the world, and here in Gilleleje we have the same issue. People eat from plastic plates, use plastic forks, and when it's windy it blows into the harbor, into the water, and it collects into the ocean, like you've seen on other videos on the internet. And I think it's a big issue that we all have to take care of. So what I did was I started asking through the last 3-4 years, I started asking why they're not using plastic plates or plastic forks. I would probably say like, oh, it'd be smart if you use like wooden forks because if it blows in the water, it doesn't make any difference. But they wouldn't listen in a long time. They just laughed about it. I should have probably talked to the manager or something. But if they don't have that focus, I'm not gonna force them into it. But what happened this year is I saw the forks and knives were changed. And I could recognize it from my own straws at home. It's made of a plastic from seashells. It's really clever. It doesn't make any damage if it ends up in the ocean. You can put it in your compost or whatever you want. Also, the plates has changed plastics, but as soon as they changed to sushi plates, they use the same regular plastic that every sushi maker uses. Even the ones that you get, like the soy sauce, is also in plastic bottles. So I think like it's a big step for Gilleleje, and it's a big step for a lot of places when it changed. But think about the small things as well, because that's very often the ones that the animals eat or that ends up in the ocean because it's so small that no one picks it up. I still think it's a big issue. And there's actually a video out with Justin Bieber's in it, and I think it's called Love the Earth. It's a clever collaboration of like, let's get together and save the earth. I do believe in global warming. What? Ignore ignorant me, because years later, actually it's 2022 now, this previous video and the one following this is actually from 2019. I don't believe in global warming anymore. I don't actually believe it's relevant at all. If it was relevant, why would banks still lend people money to buy housing and companies and buildings, places where if the oceans rose, then it would just take away any take away any building. So anyways, that's just another part of that. But I now see that people have so many places this cardboard straw or paper straw, which is horrible, doesn't make any sense. Nobody likes to use it. It's a waste of time. And, it did help with the plastic straws, but there's so many others, like I just mentioned. This shells from sea animals, they create straws from that. And, any shellfish, they take some of that and they create straws that looks like plastic, but it actually isn't. And it has the same condition, feel, and everything, strong durability as plastic. So why not go that way? I know it's more expensive than cardboard, but no one likes to drink from cardboard. And you've seen McDonald's, they put these plastic tops on their cups, but they put a cardboard straw in it. They put plastic coating on the outside of their Cokes and drinks. And they do this everywhere, like coffee places and everything. Forget about it. This wasn't gonna change anything. That doesn't change anything. So, stop believing in this narrative. And I just think it's stupid, and it's just fooling people who are ignorant and doesn't ask any questions. If you want to change plastics, do it everywhere. It doesn't make sense to just do it one place. I know it's one step at a time, but come on, people. There's so many products being offered out there that's without any plastic. So if you wanted to do that, it's so easy to find that. So it's just being lazy or being, focusing too much on what the cost is. If you're focusing on that, well, go back to plastic straws. Be better at collecting them if you're on a harbor like they are here in Gilleleje. There's so many things you can do. Anyways, I wanted to break the video down, just interrupt it and say I don't believe in global warming anymore. I think it's a hoax, and I think it's only made for rich people to make more money and to control us. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist. But if you read about it and if you understood the data and the science, you would know it's all bullshit. Yes, the poles and ice is melting, and it's
natural. If Mother Earth didn't want us here, she'll kick us off and she'll make sure to make enough tsunamis to kill us. But right now, at the current moment, it's not the tsunamis, it's not the plastics, it's not all these things that's killing us. It's the government that's not regulating, big corp, and all these companies produces things every day, still producing plastic straws. So if they're allowing that, who cares about straws anyway? It's just because people saw one video of a turtle having it up in its nose that people changed all this bullshit. And I get it. We want to take care of the animals. We don't want things in the oceans. But right now, you and I have microplastics all over our body because it's in our foods, it's in everywhere. So why are we still producing plastics? Guess what? Who's producing plastics? People who are digging for oil. People who own oil companies. It's made of petroleum. It's made of oil. So ask yourself the question. People have all the money, and now the prices are raised with oil prices here in 2022. Inflation, everything, all this is controlled by governments. And people who owns the oil are the most, wealthy people and families in the world. So look into it. Rothschild families and Rockefellers and all that. So if you want to wake up a little bit, maybe you check that out. But yeah, I'm going to go back to the video from 2019. Thank you for letting me interrupt it.
But I think it's horrible that it has such a bad impact on the world. I know it's cliche to talk about for some of you, but I really think it's so important. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Fuck. No. Just dropped my GoPro. Nothing happened. Yes.